Gary, you're back again. I have been looking over the contract in detail with my lawyer, and he tells me this developer agreement is among the most restrictive and one-sided real estate contracts he has ever seen.
You shouldn't be talking to a lawyer. I am the only one you should trust. We call these extreme documents. This is where the landowner gives up an exceptional amount of rights and essentially becomes a caretaker for much of his property.
You make it sound like you want to be my friend and partner. But it looks like your objective is to maximize profit with the least amount of risk. The net result of this agreement is to essentially dedicate all of my property to the operation of a wind turbine plant.
Yes, that's true, and anything inconsistent with that operation will be prevented, so the partnership and friendship don't last very long. The turbine ownership is flipped every few years, so you will be making new friends all the time.
This contract will severely limit what I can do on my own land.
Jim, you are beginning to overthink some of these things. Just trust me, and let's get this contract signed.
I noticed the word easement showing up in this lease contract. My lawyer says an easement agreement is not in my best interest.
This is a lease contract. However, we will also be putting an easement on your property. The easement will transfer to me an interest in the real property that encumbers the record title. Terminating easement rights will be quite difficult and expensive for you.
It says here in the contract that you may enjoy my property without any interference by me or anyone else, and that I must actively protect and defend your right to enjoy my property. What does this mean?
I told you before that we must be able to do what we want, where we want, whenever we want, on all of your land for the entire length of the lease. You would also need permission from us to build any farm building or structure of any kind. That's what we call enjoying your property.
This contract says you can assign my property. Please explain what this means for me.
This section allows me to assign the contract and the turbines to anyone I choose, without your permission, and most of the time, without your knowledge. We do this so that you don't have to worry about who is owning the turbine. Look, you are getting all hung up on small details. Think of the big picture. This is a great opportunity for you. Just trust me and sign this contract.
This contract allows you to put a mortgage on some of my land. I need to talk to my lawyer about this.
We would rarely do this, but if we want to, you must give us permission. Forget about your lawyer. If you want to talk to a lawyer, I will bring over one of ours. They understand this contract much better than your lawyer ever could, because they wrote it. Sign here.
I have a small mortgage on the property. I will need to show this contract to my banker.
No, don't do that now. Sign this contract first. If your banker finds out later, after the turbine is up, and demands payment, you can have your lawyer deal with him at that time.
It looks like you can terminate this contract for almost any reason, but I don't see anything about me being able to terminate.
As you can clearly see, these contract pages are full, so there is no room left for you to spell out your rights or options for termination. This contract is ironclad. It must be this way so that you can never terminate. We need to have total control of all your land for the next 100 years.
I have read about landowners in other states that have had construction liens placed on their property by contractors who did not get paid from the developer who built the turbines. These liens are legal filings against me, and I'm worried about that.
Let me assure you that even though we are an LLC with no assets, we have good credit. I am pretty sure that all the bills will get paid eventually, so don't worry about this lien thing. You must stop picking this contract apart. Now just sign right here on the bottom line.
I'm still worried about what my neighbors will think of this turbine and how it will affect their quality of life and property value.
As a landowner, you have the right to do whatever you want on your own property, so it's okay to enter into a wind agreement with me. Don't believe these rumors about quality of life issues and property value loss. Our research shows this can't happen. When are you going to begin to trust me?
I also have a responsibility to keep what I do on my property. A 500-foot tall turbine that can be seen for over 30 miles and creates noise, low-frequency vibrations, and shadow flicker is not what I would call keeping it on the property. I have been friends with my neighbors for many years, and I don't want to see this friendship torn apart. I don't think this nominal payment you're offering is worth it.
I can tell by your comments that you have been getting information off the internet. This is the wrong place to get information about wind turbines. Disregard any information that does not come from our website. Remember what I told you about people with turbine envy? Well, they post all kinds of things on the internet that you should not be reading. If you want to know about wind turbines, ask me. I am the expert. So now, seriously, sign the contract and let's get this over with.
I will not sign. I'm going to show this contract to my banker and talk more with my lawyer. Now get out. I've had enough for one day.
Remember what I told you about keeping this contract secret. You shouldn't be showing it or discussing it with anyone. If you do, you risk losing this opportunity altogether. If you want information, ask me. I will leave now and be back in 1 week. At that time, I expect you to sign a contract.